Because a lot of times you have these deep, dark fears that are living in the dark, and you have to shine the flashlight on it, right? To be able to see it so you can understand it and you can let it go. Because if you don't know it's there, you can't let it go. Aries, welcome to your reading. So, what we're going to do this week here, and I've actually had to change things up in the middle of doing this because like this reading was actually originally intended to be for like the all signs, but I found that I'm talking a lot longer than I really should be. So we're gonna make this part of the weeklies this week. That's just what we're gonna do, because why not? All right, so basically the first card is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the situation that you experienced in the past that created this blockage that you have going on in regards to love relationships. So if it doesn't resonate with you, check out your, other major placements. That way then you can see if you can find one that fits. But then also the second card is the advice or what you should consider doing in the future. That way then you can, help resolve it within yourself, so that you can be open and accepting to a new love relationship. Third card is basically what patterns you should look for from the universe. Now, so the universe, how it works is that it does work in patterns. It works in numbers. It loves numbers. And you can program it to tell you when something's about to happen. It's fantastic. So I'll explain more when we get to that point. So that's what we're going to do today. So show me Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What happened in the past that's creating blockage, please? Oop, nope. Nope. What happened in the past that's creating blockage, please? I'm like, do I have to take all these? I do. So we've got 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles reversed, 5 of Pentacles, and 6 of Swords. Okay. All right, I'll read that here in a moment. Let's get the other cards out. Show me the advice. What's the advice of what Aries should consider to help resolve this within themselves? We've got 9 of Pentacles and 4 of Wands. Okay, good. And what patterns should Aries be looking for? Okay, we've got the 7 of Pentacles here. Okay, cool. Let's do this. So for this book of cards here, for the original part, when a book doesn't mean it's like more, of an issue. It just means that it's more complex. And they want to make sure that it's the complexity of the situation is seen. So what we've got here is we've got a case where basically you were freaking thrilled as a kid, right? 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups. I feel like the 6 of Cups is your experience as a child. And you were just so thrilled. You were happy minding your own business. You had a start. Oh, this one feels like it hurts already. Okay, so it feels like your childhood started out really good. You were happy, you were emotionally satisfied, everything was great. But then like what I'm seeing here with this 8 of Pentacles reversed is, basically as a child the stuff hit the fan for you. With this 8 of Pentacles reversed. Everything that you had worked towards had turned upside down. And fell apart. Everything that you had built as far as like relationships with people, it turned upside down. So what I'm seeing here is a major, I'm going to call it a major event. Okay. It's a major event because it really hurts. Like, I feel like somebody could have even died. Maybe for some of you, somebody could have died, like a parent or a guardian, that kind of thing. Somebody who was very important to you could have died. It could have been something like that. It could have been a drastic situation where suddenly you were left by yourself and forced to go somewhere else. It's almost like an orphaned feeling. It's almost like that. Orphaned, like suddenly you became a foster kid. And you didn't understand what had happened at the time. I feel like as an adult now you know what happened. I mean, this could have been a case of where you suddenly lost, let's just say, you know, somebody has an addiction issue, as far as like one of your guardians had an addiction issue, and suddenly it went out of control and you lost everything that you thought you had. You lost because suddenly, you know, CPS or whoever, whatever child protective agency comes out and gets you because of issues with that person's addictions or something like that. That's a very sudden and dramatic change from the life that you had. Suddenly it stopped working. Suddenly everything that you had before completely turned upside down. I'm surprised that I didn't see the tower. Completely turned upside down. And you were forced to move away. Probably literally move away. And you were by yourself. You didn't have anybody around you that you trusted. You didn't know them, right? You didn't know them. It's very traumatic feeling. And so if you're a foster kid or adopted out because of, you know, an orphan type situation, this is probably for you. So, boy, you've been getting some extreme stuff coming through lately. The advice for yourself to help you get past whatever blockages you have on that. Because I'm betting the block, I have no experience, okay? I was never fostered, I wasn't adopted, nothing like that. And my childhood was, you know, okay. So, it was okay. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has their issues with their childhoods. But the thing is that I still have my parents. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But what I feel like what may be happening is that you are not letting anybody in. Okay? You're not letting anybody in. So when I was saying earlier that as an adult you understand what happened now, you may need to take a look at some inner child work. Okay? Take a look at some inner child work, because your child on the inside doesn't know what happened, doesn't understand, is still hurt by it. Your adult self understands. Sure, you're pissed off about it, but the thing is, I feel like it's your inner child that's pissed off too, pissed off and sad, and you're mad that your inner child was hurt, right? So what you may want to do is you may want to investigate and do some inner child work, reviewing what you see now and you understand now as an adult, and working with your inner child to help them understand as well. Okay? I'm not going to go through the details on this. I would work with someone who's specialized with this type of stuff, with inner child work. I love to do inner child work, but I am not. I'm no specialist by any means. All I know is that it works, and I've done it for myself and helped others around me do it. So, but it's so particular for every single person, and you have to know how to pinpoint the different areas that need, I'm going to say, light shown on it. Because a lot of times you have these deep, dark fears that are living in the dark, and you have to shine the flashlight on it, right? To be able to see it so you can understand it and you can let it go. Because if you don't know it's there, you can't let it go. So the advice here, we've got 9 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. What this is saying is understand that you are your own individual person, okay? You are your own individual person, and despite all the troubles that you've gone through in your childhood, okay? Despite all the troubles that you've gone through in your childhood, you're still in an amazing spot. You've done amazing for this. You did it on purpose. You had passion and drive, and you got everything you possibly could, and just enjoy that. Be very happy with that. Don't be angry about your past. I'm sure the anger is very useful, okay? Anger is very useful for propelling things forward. And that's how you've gotten to where you are now. Okay? Very useful. But the thing is that you do have to convert that anger at some point to joy at where you're at, not pissed off on where you've been. So I think that's changing the focus from the past to the present. Focus on where you're at now and just enjoy, just feel the pleasure of having a life that's so much better than it used to be. That's what they're saying. So it's like a change in perspective for that, but I do also recommend that inner child work too. And so that inner child work will help you have a better perspective as well, because things that happen to us as children, they last forever. Until you specifically address it, it stays. Oh, it stays. The body remembers. The body remembers. So, all right. So love coming down the pipe here. Now, the thing is that you may have been resisting any sort of love, because the thing is that there was love back then. There was love back then. Everything was great, happy. And suddenly shit hit the fan, right? And so the universe for new love to come in, because once you start addressing this kind of stuff and you start being open to love coming in, the universe will start bringing things towards you. And a lot of times the hardest thing is understanding when that's coming, and understanding when, a lot of times we just need an alarm to show us, oh, okay, now it's time. It's kind of like a microwave, alert that the cooking's done and you can pull it out now. It's something like that, where it's time to wake up now, that kind of thing. So setting an alarm in the system, which you can do, I've done it multiple times, okay? Multiple times. The universe does want to give you what you want. A lot of times we just have to know when, right? We just have to know when. Says 7 of Pentacles. And so you see this guy here. He is, the tree specifically looks like a bonsai to me, by the way. Looks like a bonsai. So there could be bonsai trees that could suddenly start popping up and you're like, why am I seeing all these bonsai trees? Like, what we're looking for is patterns, okay? And you can set the pattern. So I'm giving you ideas on what patterns you can set, and I'm going to tell you how to set it here in a minute. So it looks like it does look like a bonsai tree. What I'm also noting here is, of course, the number 7. The number 7 can be used as well because the universe does like numbers. But also I'm seeing energy work here. So if you aren't really an energy worker, let me back that up, because they're telling me that somebody is an energy worker and it might matter. Somebody is an energy worker who's watching this. When you do work on somebody, you may see flashes of things, okay? Because I know that does happen. I'm an energy worker too. You may see flashes of things if you see a bonsai tree, or if you see the number 7, or 7 things, 7 sisters, right? Okay? That's what we're looking for. 7 things, 7 whatever. When you're doing energy work, you may have visions of this. If you are not an energy worker, it may be specifically having to do with you seeing, like, advertisements or whatever for people to do energy work. Constant energy work, like, craniosacral or Reiki or DNA healing, DNA repair, that kind of thing. So it could be something like that. So you set it for yourself. I like to set numbers. That's just my preference. But I remember when I was younger and I had a lot of anxiety issues, that I set butterflies. Whenever I would see a butterfly, I would know that the universe was telling me everything's okay, because I had a lot of anxiety going on when I was younger. So this is going to be kind of like that. What you're going to do is you're going to say out loud to the universe, use the magic of the voice box. Okay, this is magic. It speaks spells. So also be aware of what you speak. Okay, be aware, because when you put it out there, the universe is always listening. So what you're going to say to the universe out loud is you're going to say, universe, I want you to let me know when my new love is coming for me, when it's time for my new love to enter my life, by showing me a pattern of bonsai trees, patterns of 7, patterns of energy work, fill in the blank, okay? And I want you to say it 3 times. 3 times. Say it out loud. And then I want you to put it in your phone to remind you. Because sometimes it can take months for this to occur, okay? Because the universe has to set things in place. It does this. The image that I always get when I set things and I've made a choice on something, if you look up Mario's Rainbow Road, okay, if you look up Mario's Rainbow Road, what I see is that what's in front of me is, a lot of this rainbow road, but what happens is they're putting the pieces in. They're building it as I have to make decisions. So that's what I see. That's what I've seen before. So that's how this works. You can forget about it since it's been months or whatever. I've forgotten about it. I'm particularly fond of setting the numbers 9, 6, and 3 because the universe loves factors of 3. And I did forget about it when I had set something. I had set for the universe to show me the numbers 963 when it was time for me to purchase my home. We relocated across the country and we wanted to purchase a home, and so I had been looking at houses for months, that kind of thing, months, and I wasn't sure what I wanted, what was perfect, what was great, and I was just like, universe, show me 963 when my house is out there and it's time for me to buy it. So suddenly this alarm goes off. I'm seeing 963 all over the place and I'm like, what's going on? I know I set an alarm for something, but I couldn't remember what it was. So I was like, okay, eyes open. What's going on? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? And I had forgotten that I had set that for the house. Thing is, the universe literally put the numbers 963 in the address of my house too, which is fantastic. So fantastic. I love how the universe works like that. But it does work. It does work. But set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. Don't bother looking for these patterns. The universe will show it to you. Suddenly you're going to be like, what's with all these 7s? Why do I keep seeing 7 people, 7 blah, 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 that kind of thing. 7 stuff at work, 7 papers, 7 whatever. And then you're going to be like, oh, the pattern. And the universe is like, yes, it's time. Okay. And you're like, oh, okay, great. Thanks, universe. Because, of course, show you gratitude. So, all right, Aries, that's what I got for you today. Thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate you. I hope to see you next time.